Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. Thanks for tuning in. If you're new, welcome. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Today I'm going to show you just a little bit about some of the projects that I've been working on the last couple of weeks. Simple, easy. I'm still in the process of just, I guess you'd say, springifying, Eastering my house up just a little bit, not a lot. I had mentioned before that I have a bin that's missing that really is my spring and Easter decos that I just haven't been able to locate. So I picked up a few little things and just kind of put them around, added a garland or two, nothing drastic. But in this particular video, I'm going to be stepping out into my porch and I'm going to show you a small little quilt table stand that I had purchased years and years and years and years ago at an unfinished little booth that was in a craft shop, a store, and it was unfinished and it was just cute, and it was something to hang a little quilt on at the bottom, and it had top ledge and a bottom ledge, and I have it outside in my enclosed porch. And years ago I painted it like a barn red, and I have a book cabinet made with the doors that are the chicken wire that my husband made for me on, I believe, I don't remember what birthday it was. 40th, 50th, I don't know. I've had it for quite a while. Yeah, I'm going to say it was for my 50th birthday. But anyways, he built it. And that too is also painted in that, it's not quite the barn red, but like a deeper cranberry. And I just love it. I've showed it before, but I'm going to go ahead and I'll insert a picture of the whole thing. But on my porch, I had this little stand, and I thought, I'm trying to get some just different colors out on my porch and not spend too much money, kind of do a little bit of in-home shopping and looking around and switching things out. But I decided to go ahead and paint that little stand. And I used some leftover chalk paint. And it's the same chalk paint that I used to paint my vanity a few years ago. And I just had a little bit left. And I thought, this will be enough for that little stand. So I'm going to take you through a couple of pictures and show you just the simple process. And you know, chalk painting is forgiving, and it is so easy. The first things I normally do is I just wash the piece really good. And since this has been out all winter, because my porch is screen enclosed, but it still gets dust and stuff like that. I washed it really good, and then I sprayed it with a wood cleaner and made sure it was super clean. And with chalk paint, you don't have to sand it if you don't want to. I like to just lightly just kind of go around the edges and sand it, just in case there's any little rough edges with the paint, and just smooth it, but you do not have to do that. And then chalk paint also instructs not to shake the can, but just to stir it, mix it up really good, and put nice even coats on. It's so easy. And so it covered that stand in that dark red really nicely. Now I did do 2 coats of it because I want to use that chalk paint that I have left in that can all up. And so I went ahead and gave it its couple of coats, let it dry really well, and then I put the liquid, it's kind of like a polish that goes on top. It's a protectant, and I did a couple of layers of that, and then ran out of time, it dried, and so I still need to add one more layer. Since it's outside, I just want that extra protection. But I'll show you what it looks like. It really brightened up that area because most of my furniture is black, and my little rocking chair is going to get a new coat of just spray paint on it, and that's black, and my little glider's black, and the table's black iron. So I wanted something that was just going to kind of pop out and add that color. And right now I'm in the process of looking for an indoor-outdoor rug. They have a whole bunch out, but I'm just kind of looking for something that not too light, but something that has just some texture to it. So I'm still doing that, and today it was my plan to go out and buy some front porch and patio plants that I want to put out there. So I haven't done that yet, but I am going to run out and do that, and then I'll take a few more pictures so I can put this whole entire video together and hopefully get it up this week. And then next week I want to work on just doing my little spring Easter tour. Like I said, it's nothing, you know, outstanding or great, but it's just the little spring touches that will take me through the spring and the summer. And also I have a stool, and I want to tell you a little bit about this stool. This is a stool, and in the picture you'll see it, and I added the chalk paint to it because this was my grandfather's stool. And my grandfather was a shoemaker, owned his own shoe shop, and you know, had a regular store where he sold shoes, but he also made shoes. And he used this stool, and I still have memories of going to visit my grandparents and my grandpa in his shop in the back, repairing, putting on new leather, cutting the leather for the soles, and he would sit on this round stool and hammer away, and the top of the stool has all little divots in it. And it was painted probably, I don't know how many times, and I'm sure the paint wasn't up to code now. It's just so old. But I took it when my dad and when my grandparents, well, my grandfather passed when I was like 8 years old, and my uncle took over the shoe store, and then after they closed it, sold it, and my grandmother moved, it was one of the items that my grandma had still, and my dad took it, and then he had it out in his shed. Several years ago, many years ago, when my dad was still alive, I said, I would like that stool. So I took the stool, and it actually has the claw feet on it, so it's really old. And when you turn the stool, it goes up because it's a piano stool. And so we first acquired it when my grandma moved, and I used it when I started taking piano lessons because my parents bought a secondhand piano for me. It was an upright, and that was the stool that I used and sat on when I took lessons for those years. And then after I quit taking piano lessons and we moved, they sold the piano, then my grandma took the stool back. So it's been in our family for years and years, and then my dad just kept it when my grandma moved in his shed. So I took it, and I've just had it basically in the garage. I've had it on my front porches where it's been covered and just there with a plant on it. And so I had a little bit of chalk paint left, and I thought, you know, that poor stool, I would love to have it refinished, but the whole seat is just divoted with pounding and, you know, nail marks, and you know, how much could I restore it? So I decided I'm going to put the chalk paint on it. I did not paint the lower bottom claw feet. I left it because I think there's a solvent of some type that you can get to use to dip it in and restore that, and takes all the gook and the rust off. And so I would like to do that, but I just painted it with a coat of chalk paint, and I have it on my porch, and I plan on getting a fern that I want to put on that stool. And great memories. An old object, great memories for me. And I just, when we moved here, I was like, oh my gosh, am I going to bring this little piano stool with me? And of course the answer was yes. So it's just been out in the garage, and now I've got it out on my porch. And I love it. I mean, it's not spectacular looking, but it still brings back good memories. So I'm going to share that with you. And the next thing I'm going to share with you is my little project of my cubby shelf that I built. And it's very similar to that one there. It's just a little bit narrower and taller. And I was in my you know, winter cleaning mode still into spring, and I had this closet that is a closet designated for my granddaughter's toys, junk, stuff. And there's a lot of it, games and all of that. And so I needed to redo it because I had big bins in there and they were hard for her to pull out. And so I purchased it, and I was just going to wait until my husband was home and could put it together for me. And I thought, nope, I'm gonna do it. And so as you can see, I did it with a hammer, a screwdriver, and really good instructions. I bought this particular one at Target. It's Home Essentials. I believe it's called Home Essentials. It's so well constructed to put together. The holes all line up. It's really nice, and the instructions were so easy to follow. And I've learned a lot from my husband about whenever you take something out of the box, make sure you separate all the pieces, count them, and make sure you have more. I mean, you have enough. And in this particular packaging, they even add a few extras. So that was all good. And when I went to put that one together, I purchased that at Big Lots, and that manufacturer, the instructions were like, it was just the diagrams. I couldn't follow it. I got frustrated because not all the holes were perfectly lined up. So I had to FaceTime my husband, and he had to help me through it. And I mean, I just broke out into a sweat. I was like, wow, this one was so easy. I didn't have to call him. I didn't need any assistance. It was so easy. And then I was so proud of myself because I added a little hook to the inside of the closet because I have a wooden checkerboard that I'll share and show you. And I wanted to hang it on the wall. And I actually went and got his stud finder and put it on the wall and ding, 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 and just moved it over slightly, and I found the stud. And I was able to get his electric drill, fired that up, and I hung it all by myself. I was so proud. And my husband was proud of me. So I got that closet organized to where it's functional, and she can go into the bins and get what she wants. So I was real excited about that. So I'm going to share that with you in this video. So stay tuned. And until next time, be kind, be humble, and sometimes things are easier than you make them out to be. So challenge yourself and try something new. First, we're going to start with this barn red little quilt stand. And there at the bottom right side, you'll see it finished. And you can see it's really pretty dark. I've had this for a long time. And this is the little piano stool with the claw feet on it that I already started to put a coat of chalk paint on. And then we're going to move on to this adorable little 6-hole cubby organizer that I'm so proud of putting together. But first, the little quilt stand. It's very dark barn red, and I wasn't sure how many coats it was going to take. But honestly, this chalk paint just covers so beautifully, and 2 coats is really all it needed, and just a few touch-ups. Here I started to paint the piano stool, and now it's in its finish stage, and that's the table painted all white. I'm really happy with it. And of course I had to pull everything out and get the inside of that cupboard totally emptied out so that I could move on to the next project. So with a hammer, a screwdriver, and some good instructions, I was able to put this little project together, and I was so proud.
I did what my husband always taught me. Separate everything out, count and make sure you have enough of everything that's supposed to come in the project, and then lay it out according to the picture directions. Follow the directions step by step, and um, don't miss a step. But then, oops, don't miss the dowels either. But I didn't panic. I just did a little unscrewing. The bottom layer, I just missed those two dowels when I was screwing it in, and I just had to unscrew it and readjust it, and it fixed itself perfectly. And then I was able to attach the back to it, and just really feeling proud.
Just thought I would show you what I'm doing at this point. I'm putting the little bins inside little cubbies, and I bought two different designs, this navy blue and gray striped, and just the plain gray. And I am really pleased with this 6 cute cubby organizer. It's a 6 cubby cubic organizer, and I did it with a hammer and a screwdriver and directions. Simple and easy. And you know, I have purchased several of these types of cubbies for storage bins and stuff, and my husband's always put them together, but since, you know, he has to commute and is gone for periods of time, you know, I just didn't want to wait, and I put one together in my bedroom. Of course, with his assistance, I had to FaceTime him because I just couldn't figure it out. And I thought, I'm going to do this. And this is really nice. This I got at Target, and it's by Room Essentials. And I have to tell you, they even give you a couple of extra nails, screws, and things like that. And the holes were so well drilled and lined up so nicely. I made one little boo-boo that I didn't see until I turned the unit over, and I had totally missed the dowels. They slid out, but no fear, I was able to fix it, and it was simple and easy. And I'm going to use this particular cubby in my closet that I have in the little hallway area. You might be able to see it over there, that back door, and that's where I keep all of my granddaughter's toys. And I'm just going to pick this up and switch cubbies, and then I'm going to turn it around and show it to you. That's where I keep all of her toys. And I had 2 large bins in there, and they were stacked on top of each other. But she's old enough now to go in and, you know, get what she wants, and easier to organize. So I thought, gotta do some organizing in that closet. Make it a little more efficient. And these are such nice little cubicles, and I got them on sale at Target. Oh, I think I bought these. Oh, there you are. I think I bought these a couple of weeks ago. Crash, bang, boom. Am I making you crazy? I bought them a couple of weeks ago. They had them on sale. I thought it was a good price, and I had been thinking about, okay, what am I going to do with that closet without putting anything permanent in it, and what's a better method of being able to organize some of her books and crayons and that kind of stuff. So I'm going to get busy working on it. Honestly, I'm really proud of myself for doing this because sometimes it's just the simplest things that we are capable of doing, but we just put it out of our mind like, oh, that won't come good, or that's not going to be very nice, but it's going to be hard to do. We're all screwed up, and I did it, and I didn't even have to make a FaceTime call to my husband, and it looks so nice. So now I'm going to kind of turn you around and show you, and hopefully I won't drop you. Let's see if I can do this. No, hold on. I'll just have to tune it back. Okay, guys, this is it. I put it together. Yeah. That's not uneven there, honestly. It's just, I guess, the bins. But I went ahead and filled all of the bins. And it's, like I said, it's 6 holes, but if I don't want to fill it, I did put the backs on them. So if I wanted to just put some stuff for decorations, I could, but I'm using this as a storage bin for her toys. And I will back it up so you can see it. It is so nice. I'm just so happy with it. Oh, now I got to pick up all my mess. And yeah, I even stuck that kneeler on my floor, and it really helped when I was hammering sideways for my knees. So I'm really pleased with it. Project accomplished. I'll show you the closet when I get that all organized. There's the top shelf. I put the 2 great big bins up there. That one in the middle is empty. So I made some more room. And then coming down is the shelf. I'm glad I bought the 6 bins and not just the 3, because then everything's in a bucket. And then I stuck this little table on the side and took out the little, kind of like it was like one of those steel bins. I'm going to put it in the garage. And then I hung the checkerboard up, and that's her bag of groceries, and I think it came really nice. So I'm happy with it.
Hey guys, who says you can't teach an old dog new tricks? Sometimes you just have to step out of your comfort zone, have a good attitude, convince yourself by telling yourself you can and you will do it, and the results sometimes are just amazing. Okay, so what? You make a screw up. It's not the end of the world. It's just a great project and you feel so accomplished.